Hello internets and welcome to my first ever author's vlog. My name is Tom Haswell, as you may have read probably right there, and I am a professional storyteller, or at least I want to be. I have always been interested in reading and writing since I was a kid, and I've recently had the opportunity to have some wonderful people give me some wonderful opportunities to try to stretch in that direction. So we're going to see exactly how deep I can get this rabbit hole to go. I have my new vlog channel, which you are watching now. I also have a blog which I'm doing on iwasateenagespacemarine.com. I am going to be intending to post videos and blogs once a week, probably on 2 different days like this one, and probably with different material. The reason is I think there are some things that are easier to explain in a written form, and some things that in text are just going to be a little bit languishing to try to go over, and the video method is going to work easier for that. If you have not yet read my So What's This Then on I Was a Teenage Space Marine, I would suggest doing that as well. And other than that, we're going to go over a little bit more information here. I've already gone over my inspirations for writing and why I generally prefer to write sci-fi and science fantasy on I Was a Teenage Space Marine, so I'm not going to go over that right now. Right now I'm going to gloss into a little bit more what I'm trying to accomplish in the near future. I'm actually very fortunate that I already have some opportunities that have lined up well for 2016. I have a serial which is going to be coming out from Crush Pop Productions called Absolute Valentine Memory Green. That will be available starting in February and will be available monthly. I have a novella which will be available from WordForge Games. That book will be available in March, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a pre-order before then or not. I also have a couple other unique opportunities that are going to be coming up. I'm always trying to find new ways to do marketing. I come from a business background, so while marketing is never easy, it is something that is somewhat intuitive for me, so I seem to be falling into a couple opportunities which I don't know if other writers are or aren't. I'm going to see how well they work out, and if they become lucrative, or if they seem to be working for me, I'm going to make sure to tell you guys how to hook up on those too, because that seems to be one thing that a lot of starting authors and starting writers have a lot of problem with, is trying to figure out how to market themselves, how to address themselves, and how to get themselves into opportunities. Which is one of the other things that I wanted to cover. Is I have a friend of mine who has been watching me try to transition from a business person to a writer, and he has brought up a couple times the idea that, well, so what do you do all day? Do you just write all day? How many words do you write per day? And trying to figure out how my life works now. And to some extent, I'm still trying to do the same thing. But one thing that I do know is you can't write 8 hours a day. You can't write 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have to be working on your projects. You have to be working on your vision. You have to be working on your stories every day. Don't get me wrong. If you want to be a full-time writer, if you want to make this a profession, brother, sister, you just gotta write. That's all there is to it. However, if all you do is write, no one's ever going to read it because no one's going to find it. If all you ever do is write, odds are what you're going to be giving people isn't the best way it could be. That's why editing is important, that's why read-throughs are important, that's why marketing is important. Generally what I try to do is I try to write for somewhere between 2 to 4 hours a day, which is generally going to get me somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 words. I personally do that in the evening because I find that I'm more creative at night because I'm not a morning person. And I find that I edit better in the mornings because I'm not a morning person. So when I'm not excited about what I'm doing, that's the best time for me to start hacking at things with a chainsaw, because I'm going to be doing my editing best when I don't want to be doing anything. On the days where I'm not editing in the morning, I'm doing web work such as building a website, building a blog, setting up a YouTube channel. I am filming things like this and writing my blogs, or I am learning new software because as a writer there's a lot of tools available that are worth taking advantage of. For example, I've just picked up Scrivener, and Scrivener is a wonderful piece of software. It is definitely going to help me to work on a few of my projects right now, including one where I have to be jumping back and forth between storylines a bit. So it's making it a lot easier to track those and to make sure that I have everything spaced out the correct way. YouTube has a lot of functionality that I need to learn as well, even though I have done video blogs before, primarily for my miniature wargaming stuff. This is going to be a little bit different, this is going to be a little bit more intense, and I need to make sure I'm marketing it more. That was more just people seeing what we're doing. This has more applications required, so I want to make sure I'm getting that right. If you check out the header to my YouTube channel, which will be pretty much right there unless you're on full screen, in which case it'll be not visible because you're on full screen. If you check out the header though, you will see that I have a button there for my blog, which I suggest that you go read, because as I said, there's going to be material there that I'm not covering here. I'm also going to be putting up buttons for all of my works that are being offered through third-party companies so that you can read them, buy them, and hopefully enjoy them. Right now I have a placeholder for Fallen Angels, which is the novella for Devil's Run Route 666 that will be coming out in March. I do not have a placeholder for Absolute Valentine because there's nothing to hold place yet. But I do have a link for you to go through to Drive Through Fiction, which is where Monolith and Crush Pop Productions are going to be hosting all of their work. Right now you can get a free download of a short story compilation that has 2 works of mine in there. Also work from New Icon, Matt Favale, and Seb Miller, which are excellent works. I recommend them highly. I also recommend them as authors if anyone is looking for someone to add to their compilations. Other than that, please comment, like, and subscribe. Go ahead and post things down below that I should have done better or should do better in further videos. Thank you very much for viewing. Hopefully next time will be more entertaining, and have a good weekend.